Say we're there. Now we're live. Hello. Hello. Erica, does it look like it's live to you?
Not yet. I'm not seeing the YouTube as live yet.
Okay. Never a dull moment. I'm checking too.
There we go.
Now we're on?
We are on.
Yay! Hello! I think I actually got my mic working and my headphones working this week, so I can talk and hear all at the same time.
Oh, bonus!
Nice.
I know. Woo!
There we go.
It's a good thing. It is a good thing. And it only took 3 hours. Oh, and there's my cat. We were just talking about the dogs. So for Erica, we have a couple of people.
Looks like it. Hang on. I could
like
type.
Based on.
If I could type, I'd be fine.
Typing. We all do it too much.
We have Anne for sure, waving cheerfully at us.
Oh, hello, Anne. So we had two things that we wanted to let everyone know about how we're going to be, because this is all changing and morphing and we're learning as we go. That one is if people have a question in the chat on the live stream.
Question.
With Dawn's question mark sign, that if you type it in all caps, then Erica will see it more easily. So that was one thing. And the other thing is that we're going to try and do a better job of both showing and telling and doing the describing, because when I pulled the audio last week and started trying to find the chunks to put into the podcast episode, I started thinking, oh, that was a really fun part with some really interesting stuff that I don't know how to add because we just didn't say much beyond, oh my god, that's so pretty. And that makes bad radio.
Yeah.
So we'll try and do a better job today. So people who are watching, you're gonna get both sides of the same coin.
The other thing I thought of when we got that comment was not everybody is watching or listening every week, so we should maybe say who we are and where we are.
What an excellent idea.
Oh, I suppose,
So Dawn,
everybody probably knows you, Heather.
I think my voice probably knows.
They ought to by now.
I know, right? Unless people stumble on us, and because YouTube, when we do this, I don't know if you guys know this, when we do this, if somebody goes to just kind of YouTube, our video could randomly be one of the ones that gets featured. They just pull stuff.
And then they'd be, who are these three chicks just chatting on YouTube? I don't know.
What is this? So weird.
Yeah.
So we're going to assume people know me for today. Dawn, do you want to, since you have the largest animal with you now.
Yes. They're hopefully settled and sleeping on their beds, but you never know. So I'm Dawn, and I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. Heather and I.
Hi, Dawn.
Heather and I have known each other since the very early Craftlit days.
Like 10 years.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Because wasn't that cruise in 2017? The Sea Sox cruise we went on?
Sea Sox, we actually, it's 8 years from there, but you and I have been talking for at least a year.
Well before that. I know.
At least 2.
Right. So a long time.
Yeah.
I contributed, so yes, we went on a cruise to Alaska together, and we didn't even know each other.
That was awesome.
Except online.
Floozies, cruising together.
Right. And then I contributed to the first Defarge book, and yeah, we've just kind of been presences in each other's lives for a while.
It's true. It is true. And that cruise, several people said to me, so you and Dawn decided to room together and you'd never actually been in the same room at the same time before that?
Yep.
Yeah, so?
That
when you
sounds
write
like
back and forth with someone for 2 years, you kind of go,
Yeah, it didn't seem strange at the time.
No, it didn't at all. It was so funny.
Now it pretty much goes against all of the online, like, personal safety stuff I tell my kids every day.
I know, because one of us could be.
Right. I know.
I know.
Whatever.
No. Oh, we have a question. And then Erica.
The Sea Sox cruise, is that still, do those still happen or no?
I don't think with the same people. I know there's a lot of other cruises, and some to Alaska that are going on, but I don't think with the same people.
No,
Is that right, Heather?
I don't think she's doing them anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But I did see there are more than 2 knitting cruises. But I also
there was one just recently.
Yeah.
Was it Franklin? I think it was Franklin.
That may have been
the
it.
one I saw had Melissa Liebman and Laura Nelkin, and I'm not sure who all else.
Oh, I remember seeing the one with Laura Nelkin. I've been wondering if and I would love to hear from somebody, if the companies that are doing it now are companies that just do kind of the way some companies do destination travel, if these people are just, they do yoga cruises and they do comedian cruises and they do knitting cruises now because they caught on that was a thing. I can't tell, but I know that when we went on it, the girl who organized the whole thing, she was a knitter and she knew everyone because of that. So I don't know. We should talk to Franklin and find out how his cruise was too. And where did he go?
I think he's done a couple, actually. I think there was one that, I don't know, was off of the eastern seaboard, but I'm pretty sure I saw something from him recently that was Alaska, but it might not have been.
Alaska was pretty.
It was, and it's somewhere I want to go back and spend some more time.
Me too. And catch a can.
Yeah.
It's the size. It is the size of this Post-it note.
It is.
That is the size of catch a can. It is. Oh, do you remember, Dawn? It's the bridge to nowhere.
Yeah. Yes.
That was the whole thing. There was that whole Sarah Palin debacle about how she'd been lobbying for bridge to. It wasn't a bridge to nowhere. It was a bridge to their airport.
Right.
Well, now I have Road to Nowhere playing in my head, Talking Heads. So.
You're welcome. I just found out that they all met at the Rhode Island School of Design. How did I not know that? All of the Talking Heads.
That's odd.
They were all art majors, I guess.
I think that's less odd than London School of Economics, right? Isn't that where Mick Jagger was going to school?
Was it really?
One of those guys. I think it was Mick Jagger, London School of Economics.
That is hilarious. I love that. Stuff like that is just weird, and I'm all for weird, especially today. It has been a really bone-crushingly stupid day, and all I have been looking forward to was getting to see you guys, because I know you're safe and smart and not affiliated
should I
with
introduce
any medical
myself
insurance companies.
now that I've been
Yes,
declared safe?
I know that I've been totally blah blah blahing. Yes, Erica.
We'll get this down. It'll take us, 5 episodes, but we'll get there.
I know. I'll finally get introduced. No. So I'm Erica. I'm the West Coast contingent here. And Heather, I don't remember when we started emailing. I've been listening for, I don't know, since, 2006 maybe?
That's
Something
when we
like
started.
that?
Do you remember what your first book was?
I don't, but I remember going back and listening to previous. So I don't know. I've heard all of them. So I don't know.
I know. I was thinking that you came in on Tale of Two Cities.
No, before that. I want to say Little Women. Little Women.
No, because Little Women was later.
Oh.
But it's been a long time, because there are a lot of names that I have recognized in emails and on Ravelry for years before getting to know.
So I started listening and then started emailing Heather, and then there was that one fateful email, "Hey Heather, you should do a book." And you said, "Funny you should say that. We're already working on it." And then things went from there, and so then I had designs in the first 3 Defarge books,
Mm-hmm.
and said, when asked if I wanted to design for Chaucer, said, "Oh, no, 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 no." And so, of course, which one am I editing? The Chaucer book. So, of course.
Yes. Yes, Don got hit with after sending me the email, I sent another one back to you years later saying, how do you feel about editing?
Yep.
Yeah. And you couldn't see the translucent sucker that I put under it. It was only
Yep.
a matter of time. I actually last week I was going to share that picture of Yokohama Mama with her Jane's Ubiquitous shawl when she and I met in Tucson. So I'm going to try and find it while we're talking because hers was
Okay.
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And
Yes.
we have crochet questions for you for later, Dawn.
Oh, okay.
But Dawn, let's go ahead with you with your sharing. Everybody's wearing cowls, and I'm just wearing cotton, so you guys have stuff to share.
It's not a cow.
It's not a cow?
Go ahead, Dawn, and then I'll share about mine.
Well, it's sunny here in St. Paul today, which means it's cold. So, cowl in the house because, we're frugal and we don't necessarily heat the house as warmly as I would like.
I feel your pain.
This one's just super easy. It's just single crochet, chain, single crochet, chain, and you just go in a big spiral and single crochet in the chain spaces.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a big, fat, felted singles yarn called Pure, P-U-R. And it's this lovely kind of stripy color progression. It's really soft. And it was really fun to make and really fast because I don't think it's that much yardage even. It's pretty bulky.
Who makes the yarn? Is the knit company Pure?
No, it's one of the big. I think it's one of the big yarn companies.
Because I like that.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a really felted single.
And how would you describe the colors?
Yes.
These are pretty well. It's a combination. It's like last week, Heather said I was wearing ocean colors. And this one's kind of a combination. There's some oceany bits in it too, some blues and turquoises, and then some kind of warmer purples and oranges too. So it kind of covers the spectrum. They're very jewel tony.
That was one of the things I noticed about that is that some of the colors are kind of those dusty colors that I'm always really attracted to.
Yeah.
But some of them really pop in a lovely way.
Yeah, I like it, and it's very soft. So it's because it's felted, so none of the ends stick out.
Better.
So it's really warm and it's really easy to wear, which is nice.
I like, and it's non-scratchy on your neck.
Right, at least for me. But I would say I have a medium to heavy tolerance for wool, so yeah.
You're better than I am. I can't do it. My mom thought she was allergic to lanolin for years. Somebody had told her she was allergic to lanolin because she couldn't put any knitting on her neck, and I know that there are people who are allergic to lanolin, but I also believe it's really crazy rare, and so I sat her down and showed her the structure of a strand of wool and why it might be itchy to her, and she caved, finally. And said, yeah, well, maybe it's the wool. Okay. So what else do you have with you, Dawn?
Let's see. I don't remember last week. Did I tell you about the stitch markers I made last week?
No. Last week you showed us all of the behind the chair, but not behind the chair.
Oh, that's right. All the Briar Rose stuff. I did make some stitch markers because I'm embarking on a kind of Aran sweater vest. And I want 1 million stitch markers to put in between each section so I can keep my stitch counts right, Nice. So I made some new stitch markers.
Oh my God.
Those showing up, okay? So you just use that coated jewelry wire. It's called, the kind I use is called Analon, A-N-A-L-O-N. And you can put a bead on it, not put a bead on it. These are just some cheap old plastic play beads that I have.
Cool.
And so they have little hearts on them, and I just strung it on a little loop of the wire, and then closed the loop with a crimp, just a crimp bead. So you just smash it closed and then trim off the wire really close to the top of the crimp. So there's nothing to snag on anything. That's what I like about these.
Nice.
That's nice. How long would you say it takes you to make one?
10 seconds.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah. You just need a wire snips and the, little flat jewelry making tool to squish the crimp closed. But they're really fast, they're easy, and they're super cheap. So
That's cool.
That's nice
And
too.
Anne and I both agree that it's cute.
Oh, thank you.
And Anne makes stitch markers too, but I think Anne's are beaded glass things.
I'm
She's
sure
going to
she'll
correct
tell
me
us
if
in a
I'm wrong.
moment.
I know she's gonna let me know.
So there's that, and I have one bit of food stuff for you today, and I forgot to post a picture of it, but here it is on my iPad. Can you see?
Ooh.
With a
I can't
reflection.
quite see that.
Is that a chowder?
Corn chowder. Yep.
Okay, now I see.
That we made this past week. So it's got corn and potatoes and bacon and green chilies.
And for those listening, it looks really hearty and thick and
it is.
What you would want on a cold, disgusting day.
Yep, and that's exactly because we went way below zero last week again. So we had that stretch of days where we all just needed really warm food all the time.
Yeah.
And the corn chowder is always off the cuff for me, so I just start with a roux of butter and flour and keep adding stuff until it's what we want. This one in particular was super delicious because I finished it with cream instead of milk.
Oh, well, yeah. That'll do it.
Why not? If it's 15 below, you deserve cream, right?
Yeah, you have to burn it off to stay warm.
Yeah, it's, a moral obligation, I guess.
It's how you keep your family safe.
There you go. Exactly.
I like it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
in terms of knitting and stuff, I've just been picking away. I actually picked up the leg warmers again. That's made out of all of the scraps of Briar Rose sock yarn that I have.
Oh,
and those
nice.
have colors that pop too. Oh, I can.
Yeah, well, and it's just, I have 3 different balls. You can see the mess that's dangling off of it. There's a red and one that's primarily blues and greens, and then there's one that goes from yellows to blues to greens to purples in it as well. And I just do 1 row of each, and it's a basic garter rib tube. So someday my daughter will
really cool.
Those colors, when they're smashed together like that, are so.
It works weirdly, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they belong together.
Well, if you're familiar with Chris's yarn at Briar Rose, all of her colors are kind of they're not interchangeable, but her palette definitely is very cohesive.
That must be what it is that all of her colors are working together, so it doesn't matter if it's russets or blues or.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they kind of all go together. So I've been doing that mainly in the car while I'm waiting to pick up my kids from school.
I know that.
And then I have a bonus project this week because I have a friend who started a yoke sweater for herself and got to the part where you put the sleeves and the body all on one big needle and went, I am insane because this is never going to fit me.
Oh, no.
She, sorry, now my stuff is all going off. Because even though it's on silent, for some reason it was ringing.
I thought that was mine.
No, that was mine. So, it'll probably fit a 15-year-old girl. So I got the body and the arms in this beautiful, it's a Icelandic dark gray. It's the Icelandic Unspun from Schoolhouse Press.
Oh.
So this is a very woolly wool, very grabby wool. But it's also, this sweater is like as light as air because the yarn is so light. it has a good amount of body to it, but the yarn is like holding air.
Is it a
Literally.
2-ply? I can't tell.
No, it's an unspun.
Oh, it is the that's
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like
I
thinner
mean,
than Lopi.
you can pull it apart. Lopi actually makes a version of this. It's the one that comes in these big cakey things.
Yes.
Right.
I have
The
some of
plates.
that.
They call them plates. And you can pull it apart just like fluff if
Yeah.
you're not careful. But knitting with it, it stays together for me. So that's not bad. So right now I'm playing the game of seeing if I can match gauge, and so far it's going pretty well. I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
What size needle? Now this wasn't a neck down. This was a bottom
Nope,
up.
bottom up.
Yeah.
Yep. And she did a provisional cast on because she didn't know if she wanted to do ribbing or a turned hem on the bottom. So we'll go back and revisit that at the end. But for now, I've got 3 tubes attached together, and I'm knitting dark gray wool around and around and around and around and around in circles.
In the winter.
Right.
Darkest
Don't do it at night. You won't see it.
No, this definitely has a very narrow time frame.
Yeah.
So Anne is drooling over the gray.
It's
and
nice.
She says, as far as the stitch markers, she uses the beads she made, so I guess that means the glass ones, and she put them on a giant jump ring, and then she attached one of those open-close earring hooks so they could either be slip-on or removable.
That's smart.
I like that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. That's so cool.
Yes.
In fact, I think I have a picture of them somewhere. I will have to find that. The the unspun Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was called a cake, but it makes perfect sense because it looks like a cow pie. If you get the wrong color,
Yeah.
But I got some of it in that same light gray that you have, and I got some in in this color blue, and a really bright kind of aqua blue. And I found that when I was knitting with it, it would twist in coming out of the cake. It would twist just enough to hold itself together, but that if I tried to pull,
then it's all over. Yeah. The nice thing is it's so hairy. Literally, you can just overlap the ends and keep going, and they'll never come apart ever again.
No, it's true. It's very grabby.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. God, it looks great when it's done. And that I can't wait to see when that sweater's all finished.
Yeah, it'll be pretty. So right now I'm exploring what I want to do with the yoke. I have a couple of colors of lighter gray that I think we'll do. I'll do a pretty geometric something at the top.
Nice. Is there a thing going on in design and in like house decoration stuff right now that's Greek, where people are doing lots of Greek, like the geometric kind of trims and stuff?
Oh, I don't know.
Not that I've noticed, but that
I stumbled on a bunch of things on Pinterest, and it was one thing after another of all these. They were curtains that people were making, and they were referring to this design in shorthand, like it was a thing. And I thought, okay. I don't know anything. They'd all looked like the coffee cups in New York City with the little Greek.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot have that as my floor-to-ceiling curtain design.
No, I could see that.
That would make me laugh too much. So I found, Erica, before you talk, and I'm going to show everybody the Jane's Ubiquitous Shawl. And
okay.
The first picture, this was it's the first design in the first book. And Amy's going to hate
for those who are listening and not watching, it's a giant square shawl knit from the center out. The center section is diamonds, and then there's a stockinette section with a leaf at each corner increase and a leaf in the middle of each side, and then there's a fern section. And I can't tell what yarn she knit it in, but it's like an eggplant color, aubergine color. The pattern says sport weight, but that might be lighter weight than that. I can't tell. But it
I
looks,
think hers is sport weight, and in fact, I have one more version of it, and I'll put these on the show notes too. So
and Anne likes it. Thank you, Anne.
it is stunning. I've knit one of them and gave it to my aunt, and now my aunt loves me. And it's all because of this.
The best compliment I ever got, best knitting compliment I ever got, was a woman on Ravelry knit it in white lace weight for her daughter to wear with her wedding dress.
Wow.
Um,
I'm not surprised.
and she still hasn't posted a picture of it on Ravelry, which makes me sad because I want to see. But
yeah, we all want to see.
You do. And you can see in this picture, I took the picture, but my hand is holding up the end of the diamonds, the beginning of the fern, the beginning of the leaves increases. So you can get, no, I think it was sport weight that she used. But
yeah, looking at it, the closer up picture, it looks like it is.
Yeah, she did a gorgeous job knitting that. So that was fun. So what have you been working on, Erica?
Well, first, what am I wearing?
Yeah.
This is a long, skinny crescent, so it's not a cowl. It's a long, skinny crescent in 2 or 3 skeins of hemp for knitting, all hemp 6. And I believe the color's called Avocado. And it's just got lots of increases, so it's kind of ruffly.
Oh, I like
And I never did write up the pattern, but it's got kind of a leafy increase thing going on. Just very roughly, long and skinny. It's supposed to be 75 here today, so I had to wear something light. And actually, I was going to wear something else, but I can't find it, and I'm very distraught at having lost my sample. So, so I'm wearing this.
It will come back.
I'll find my sample somewhere. But I made some progress on the entrelac scarf. I haven't touched my other finishuary projects, but the entrelac scarf, which is, for those listening at home, it is Noro Korean sock, and it's just a basic long rectangle of entrelac, and the colors are a dark charcoal, a light gray, a couple shades of blue and a greenish blue, and then I don't know what color to call that purple. It's not lavender and it's not periwinkle, but it's kind of somewhere between those two.
Yeah.
And it is 11 3/4 inches wide, and at the moment it's 52.5 inches long, and I can't decide how long I'm going to make. I think I'm going to do it just to 5 feet and then call it done. But I've got almost a whole skein left, so I could make it gigunda huge, but it's already at over 900 yards of yarn in there.
Whoa.
Fingering weight on size 2.5. So.
Dear Lord, woman.
But it's definitely potato chip knitting, because as you go along, you say, well, just one more layer. Just one more layer of squares. Well, just one more layer. I want to see what color's next. So that's how that goes.
I think that's the genius of Noro, is those color changes are so beautiful, especially on entrelac patterns, that you kind of get addicted to watching the thing unfold. And I think that's my favorite colorway, just in general, of their pantheon, is those blues and purples and grays. That's what I think of when I think of Noro.
And if anybody's a Noro aficionado, it's colorway S like Stanley 233. I know that's not very descriptive, but
no, but that's how you find it.
Exactly. Yes. I looked up the cowl project on Ravelry, and the pure is a yarn by Schoppelwoller. Schoppelwoller? Yes. And my project notes are not very fantastic, but it is actually in my projects with the picture. And my fabulous notes say I used 66 stitches. Period.
That's useful information. That's good.
So there you go. Make your own. 66 stitches, go.
All right.
But yeah,
Putting
so
that
it's
down.
in there, and you can find me on Ravelry. I'm crochet compulsive without an E on the end, because back when I joined Ravelry, you could only have so many things in your name, and my E didn't make the cut. So
I always thought it
The E
made you
didn't make the
edgy.
cut, huh?
yeah. I met someone from Europe yet, and she's like, "So you're crochet compulsive?" I'm like, "Yes, I am. I'm so very French."
Yes, it was my European side coming out.
So funny.
Yeah.
So Heather, what are you wearing?
So I am not wearing anything particularly interesting, and it's been one of those weeks. So instead, I was going to share something that I was given, actually. This is,
Another one. Last week was a gifty.
it's true, but this isn't knitted. This is sewn. And I posted it on Instagram, but it's really hard to photograph, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is perfect because I can take the pictures and put them onto the show notes. But I can show you how shallow this is, and because it really is what, like, it's maybe 3 inches deep, and it's a really, really nicely made bowl. So there's the circle cut at the bottom, and then the seams go out along the middle parts. So the corners are just the corners. But what the idea is, there's quilting batting inside, and it is not polyester, it's cotton. And you put a bowl of, say, soup in that, and you shove the whole thing in the microwave and heat it up so that you can take it out without burning your hands. And
Smart.
Nanette the nanny made that one, and she also made me this one with, I thought, some of the cutest fabric. It's all sewing, all cooking things.
Very cute.
So the second one, it has little stamp-like rectangular
like
things.
vintage,
Things that say sous chef and
vintage signs. It looks like all 1950s. And she had, the small one had the little boys, the 1950s boys and girls.
yeah, it looks like fun with Dick and Jane kind of kids.
Yes. And this one looks like a bunch of diner signs, which I like. And then plain in the middle. Now with the smaller one, she was just able to cut out the circle, or in the smaller one, she did cut out a circle and create an actual bottom. But on the larger one, she quilted it more or less, and then on the outside, she spiral quilted it.
Oh,
and
that's
I have
cool.
not gotten a hold of her to find out if that was merely a design choice or if that was also a tactic. But either way, this is for a slightly bigger bowl that you could use with a serving dish, maybe. And it keeps your stuff warmer, even though the top is going to be exposed. So if you have a bowl of soup, you know that you can lose heat just off the top of it. But having something insulating around the bottom and sides, it made a noticeable difference. And I have to find out if she invented that or if she found a pattern somewhere. But it's
Very
so bloody
cool.
useful. I love it. And then there was something that I should have said something about 1,000 years ago. A year ago, Valentine's Day, I was watching Twitter go by, bored. What do you do on Valentine's Day? You watch Twitter. And one of the
so
people who I
sexy, Heather.
follow is the guy, oh no, what's his name? Who does Scribblegraph, which is a website, and he's just a guy in, I think, New Zealand. He's an artist, and I love his characters, and I love the way his stuff looks. So I won. He had this competition. If you tweet something about love, blah blah blah, he's going to randomly pick out of that, and he sent 5 of his cards. Now it took him 6 months to send them, so I'm not feeling so bad because we're winding up being about equal. But this is one of the cards. And
okay, so the card has a present on it with a little mouse,
Yep.
and it says "Merry Christmas." Wait, put it up again. I can't read what it says. I'll focus.
Oh, I have to talk
It
to him
says
to do that. Okay.
Merry Christmas. All I want for Christmas is a bit of nice Gruyere, but Santa went next level and got me Camembert.
Yes,
That's
the little
right.
mouse is sniffing the side of the box.
It's Santa Mouse.
It's Santa Mouse,
You
but
ever read that kid's
he
book,
also
Santa Mouse?
does things like this one says beware the Christmas kraken, and so it's his version of a kraken. At a distance I thought it was Cthulhu, but it is not. It is a kraken, and I'm trying to get it to focus on.
Love it.
Yes, and I really love his style. He does pen and ink art, and I'm going to link to his site from the show notes. And I've linked to him before because back when I got pneumonia and I was bedridden and I couldn't move, much less breathe. That was when I found his stuff, and I had honestly, it was just such a healing thing to sit there and look through the development of their art. And then I started playing with stuff like that with the boys, and we all started doing these line drawings, and I think I did one of Jane Eyre at the time. But he often employs trebuchets.
As one should for the
Because
holiday
what
season.
says Christmas like a trebuchet?
Right. I only learned the word trebuchet from my children. I would have said catapult 3 years ago. Oh no, Mom. But he maybe I can show you this. So he has it's a trebuchet snowball machine, and it's another Christmas card. But that character is kind of traditionally his type of character. Oh, no, it's not gonna. There we go. So it's a round head and really simple arms and feet, but it's kind of like the what were they? Love Is characters.
Oh, those little, yeah.
Back 1,000 years ago. My grandmother used to have them on the refrigerator. She would cut them out.
From the 60s or something, yeah.
Yep. So they're simple in a similar way. And I love his stuff, and I love his Twitter feed. He's always releasing cool stuff. He does pictures for people for birthdays and anniversaries, and so
Very cool.
that's my sharing. The things that make me happy. Soup and cute drawings.
That's good. So
Yay.
one of the things that people let's see, Worcester Weight on Ravelry asked about in the what do you want to hear about is what are we crazy about right now? Do any of us have something crafty wise that we're just over the moon about right now?
That's a good question.
I don't. I'm going in 10 directions at once. So I don't have a thing right now. I want to do all the things right now.
My thing is all the things.
It's winter in Minnesota, people. We want all the things.
Do you do that in the summer, or is summer when you just completely drop everything and go, I'm outside, bye?
I don't know. Summer is, I don't know. Summer is calmer. And I don't know. I think we're in the house so much that it's like, ooh, I could do that, and I could do that, and I could do that, I could do that. I don't know.
Yeah. I just realized I'm going to wind up talking to you a lot this fall because one of the things that I found out about the weird stuff that's been happening with my voice is that it's probably silent reflux, and the silent reflux is probably being caused by the acidic nature of the food that I cook with. So, for instance, if I use canned tomatoes instead of fresh tomatoes, if they've been packed with ascorbic acid or citric acid or something as a preservative, that's just intensifying the low pH to a certain point, because there is a point at which you can't, pH isn't like if you add more salt, you'll affect the pH. Tomatoes are a pH, citrus is another pH. But it seems that I'm going to be canning my own things more.
Well, with tomatoes, you still need to add. You need to add acid to tomatoes when you can them. We should get you to freeze them, because then you won't have to add extra acid to them.
And you know who cans all the things and does it well is Dr. Gemma from Cognitive. She talks a lot about canning in her segment Put a Lid on It on Cognitive. And I have had she's also done like flavored vinegars. She did some cherry infused vinegar that was really good that Andrew used in a batch of chorizo that he made.
Mm.
And she's made different other preserves and canned yummy wonderfulness that I have not been able to sample myself because of my own dietary limitations, but from all reports, they were wonderful. So
Mm. I would like that.
Dr. Gemma's a good resource on canning.
I will go.
And
I will
Dawn,
go link to that.
Anne says she sympathizes about the weather thing and inside and all the things when you're stuck inside and all that.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And if it weren't tax season for us, it'll take me until April 15th to do the taxes, but I would be doing a lot more knitting right now, I think. I'm ready.
So that's the thing Heather's crazy about is the taxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm crazy about it
Just
the wrong
not crazy
way.
in a good way. Yeah.
Just crazy.
And I'm just crazy for stitches right now. I'm in between projects right now because I'm waiting for stitches, which is in 2 days.
Yay! Are you taking classes or just going and signing books?
I'm not. So that's a good segue, Heather. Thank you. I couldn't have scheduled that better. So I will be in and around the Dizzy Blonde Studios booth most of the time. I will for sure be there Friday from 12:30 to 2. I'm sorry, from 9:30 to 2:30 on Friday, and Sunday from 12:30 to 2:30. But I'll be floating in and out of there a lot. And so please come say hi. It's booth numbers 1033 and 1035. I will have Thing 2 with me from Friday afternoon onward, from Friday about 4:30 onward. So if those who have seen and heard about Thing 1 and Thing 2 via the blog and Facebook and stuff can actually get to meet Thing 2 in person. And please don't be shy. I'll have my Ravelry button on that says I'm Erica H64. So please do not be shy to come say hi. I'm probably shyer than you are. For all my loudness, I am shy in some ways. So
that's so true in every venue that I've been in, because I find out later that there were people who were there who wanted to say hi, and then they'd gotten nervous or shy at the time and said, "Oh, I'm not gonna." And you'll know my voice, but I won't know your face. I'll know your name. So you have to come up and talk, or I got nothing. But it's always fun to get to meet people who are affiliated
absolutely.
with Craftlet and all of our books and things. And I think, is there anything else? Do we have anything else?
I think we're.
Are we good?
I think we're good.
We're good.
Send me linky things to all your stuff, and I will put them in the show notes on craftlit.com/405 and the YouTube page. That'll come. I'll put the links live on Friday. And this week is Chapter 5 in the Count of Monte Cristo, which is good. It's a good chapter because now we know our bad guys.
Cool. And I will have a report on stitches next week in however much detail you want. I will be taking notes and documenting things and hopefully posting a lot on social media through the weekend because I'll be there from the beginning on Thursday all the way till packing things up Sunday.
Will you be Twittering or Instagramming? Which one are you going to be focusing on? Because I'll put a link to your stream in the show notes.
I'll do both. I may have Thing 2 posting things for me, and I'm trying to find out if there's what limitations there are on photography and stuff. I think they've loosened up over the years, what with social media and all, and they're definitely wanting people to promote on social media. So she may even be bringing her good camera and taking excellent pictures. So
very nice. That'll be great. I'm going to live vicariously through you.
No problem. Send me a shopping list if you want.
I'm going to live vicariously through you, your shopping list, and your 75-degree weather.
Yeah, It's not supposed to be 75. It's supposed to still be raining, so
We've got your rain today. We've got your freezing rain today.
yeah. Well, it's supposed to come back tomorrow, so I hope so. We need it.
Yeah. I know. And Donna, do you guys have another storm coming in?
No, I don't. I don't think they've been talking about snow. So maybe we'll get some snow free. But I don't know. It's always a trade-off. When it's cloudy and snowy, it tends to be warmer. When it's sunny, we pay for it with, cold.
Isn't that weird? You'd think it'd be the opposite way, but it's...
Those clouds insulate things.
Yes.
They hold the heat in.
Yeah. My first winter in New York, I kept looking at the sky going, well, wait a minute, what? What? It took a little while for me to go, oh, right, because science.
Yep. It works that way.
Science, yo.
It does work that way.
I know. Neil deGrasse Tyson is our family's biggest hero right now, so.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Because science. You know, when we went to the Rose Planetarium, the Hayden Center, I tweeted him while we were on the way to let him know that we were coming up. He didn't tweet back or meet us at the door, but
Imagine that.
You're like, we're here and we're stalking you.
because
That's
come
not
on,
freaky at all.
that isn't weird at all, right? We're just
He's
Not at all.
locking the office door.
it's like slowly. Oh my God, we watched the 20th Century, the movie with Carol Lombard. It's an old black and white movie. Carol Lombard and one of the Barrymores, and it is such a funny movie. It has aged rather well, even for being a 1930s black and white film. But the Barrymore guy, he's playing this insane, narcissistic actor. And Gene Wilder based his look in Young Frankenstein on Barrymore's character. So you'll look at him and go, oh, wait, that's, Gene Wilder here. But he did this one thing that now the boys are doing, where when he would get into an argument with someone and he'd start losing, and instead of fighting back or losing with grace, he would get all riled up and say, I close the iron door upon you. And he did it over and over again, and now the boys do that. So they'll get into an argument with me or Andrew, and they'll just look at me and go, I'm closing the iron door, Mom.
Because that's just what you want your teenagers doing to you.
On the scale of things that they could say.
Oh, well, true.
And because it was such a funny movie, every time they do it, everybody just falls into laughter because it's such a funny film. There are some films that really aged quite well, and that was one of them.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Cool.
if you're stuck on a snow day.
Nice. Okay, new dog is asking very politely to go outside. So
New dog
I'm going
needs to go?
you and
All right.
and take new dog outside because we're still in flux about what her name is. She came with Dolly, then we decided we should call her Lily, and now the kids are merging it together and calling her Dilly. I don't know. They're
is
confused.
cute.
She's confused, but she needs to go outside. So.
So bye, Dilly.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
All
Have a good
right.
one. We'll see everybody
Bye.
later. Bye.
All right.